That said, our primary purpose is to entertain, and where we can entertain responsibly, obviously we try to do that. We try to have a positive impact on the world, but the first thing we need to do is entertain.
There was an in-depth piece, like a behind-the-scenes piece, talking about how they've been in a full meltdown about this girl for a couple of years now.
Disney said their main goal was to entertain, and maybe, when possible, do it responsibly. But after the Snow White remake meltdown, fans are asking, entertain who? AMC's decision to yank Disney's live-action Snow White from theaters shocked everyone. What was once expected to be a triumphant box office run backed by a legendary IP and two major stars collapsed into empty theaters and PR disasters.
Yeah, I have a clip of it.
Oh, okay, great.
Her being a retard.
Okay.
It's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White.
That laugh.
That is
not going to be saved by
You
the
wrote
prince.
it?
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
AMC flat out said keeping the film on screens was costing them money. That's how bad ticket sales got. And the controversy? It didn't start with bad CGI or weak storytelling. It started with a viral clip. Rachel Zegler, the film's lead, said, "It's not 1937 anymore. Our Snow White isn't waiting for a prince, she's becoming a leader." Cue fan outrage. From there, it was downhill. Leaked stories, feuding cast members, awkward press appearances.
It just takes a beloved movie and makes it much more boring and much less realistic. The movie is really, really bad.
The whole production turned toxic. Disney's marketing machine couldn't spin its way out of this one. The backlash snowballed. Commentators tore the film apart for being boring, preachy, and stripped of what made the original special. Critics said Disney sacrificed charm for corporate messaging, and Rachel Zegler's comments made it worse. Disney had cast her as the modern face of Snow White, alongside Gal Gadot.
Our rights are on the line, folks.
Bitch! The
Our
right to buy
reproductive
Cosby
rights.
sweaters?
Come on.
That's the face
Go
of a
vote blue.
serial killer.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button.
The movie was supposed to feel fresh but still familiar. But everything that could go wrong did. Fans accused Disney of gutting the emotional core of the classic. Gone was the fairy tale romance. In its place, a vague empowerment storyline no one asked for. And Zegler's press tour didn't help. Every time she tried to explain the changes, it came off as condescending to fans of the original. Her social media posts clashed with Disney's talking points. She refused to play nice with the corporate script, posting that she wouldn't compromise her values for PR. Noble? Maybe. Smart? Definitely not in this case. Instead of reviving the hype, it fueled the outrage.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Say it louder so your other eye can hear you.
So we didn't do that this time.
Critics said she sounded dismissive. Fans felt insulted. Disney hoped talk shows could calm things down. But then came the infamous meltdown. The View was supposed to be a safe space for damage control. Instead, it turned into a viral disaster. Zegler went off script. Producers panicked. Eyewitnesses said Disney reps tried to cut her segment short.
But the primary suffering is being sent in by my company to watch a children's movie as a single man, like 2 p.m. on a Thursday. That was the first part that was a little bit weird, but I was basically the only person in the theater.
When they couldn't, the show cut to commercial mid-interview. What aired was bad enough. What leaked after? Worse. Joe Rogan picked up the story and ripped into Disney's entire handling of the film. He said the meltdown wasn't just bad PR, it was a cultural moment. The moment audiences realized Disney's formula doesn't guarantee success anymore.
You don't particularly see people who, look like me or are me playing roles like that. So it was definitely when it got announced.
White!
He wasn't a stalker, by the way.
Thing that was like trending on Twitter for days because all of the people were angry.
Zegler's casting, which had seemed like a bold and inclusive choice, became part of the controversy. Fans were split. Some said she was brave. Others said she was miscast and too outspoken for such a sensitive project. Even Gal Gadot, who was supposed to be the stabilizing star, faded into the background. Rumors flew that Zegler and Gadot didn't get along behind the scenes. Disney tried to shut that chatter down, but the damage was done. And with every new leak or awkward clip,
And so it was like
Those people.
very much this, yes, It was this
the people that we
awakening
need to educate, the people that we need to love into awareness.
love them in the right direction.
Fewer people showed up to theaters. Theaters like AMC started taking notes. It's rare to see a Disney film pulled this fast, but it happened. Quietly at first, then officially. Theaters were losing money on every showing. They gave those screens to other films. Anything that wasn't tainted by controversy. Rogan called it a tipping point.
We need to no, you don't. It's not your job. Your job is to entertain. You are paid to entertain.
Proof that not even Disney is immune to failure when the audience feels alienated. He said Zegler's meltdown and Disney's silence afterward became the real story, not the movie. Industry insiders said Bob Iger was scrambling. He had returned to Disney to stabilize things. Instead, Snow White became a case study in how not to manage a remake. No clear strategy, no consistent messaging.
Very few people wanted to see this. Even the little kids who like Disney movies, even they don't seem to be turning up in droves for the movie because the movie is really, really bad.
No trust between star and studio. The live-action remake was supposed to be a guaranteed hit, but this one tanked. And not because the source material was weak, but because Disney forgot what fans loved about it. The View appearance was supposed to humanize Zegler. Instead, it made everything worse. She dismissed the original's message, challenged audience expectations, and threw shade at anyone who disagreed. Fans weren't having it. Even Disney's loyal base started checking out.
And so I've got some bona fides here on being fair. The movie was absolutely terrible.
Social media erupted with Not My Snow White posts, hashtags trended for days, memes exploded. Critics stopped focusing on the movie's visuals or performances. They were too busy roasting the whole rollout. AMC's move to drop the movie entirely was like slamming a door shut, and it sent a message. If a film brings nothing but controversy and no profit, it's out. Theaters don't owe Disney a favor, not anymore. Rogan noted this might change the way studios handle press. Maybe now, actors in big-budget remakes will be forced to sign contracts limiting their personal commentary during press tours. But that might backfire too. Fans can smell a phony. The irony? Zegler was authentic, just not in a way audiences wanted. She was sincere, but her message clashed with the nostalgia fans felt for the original. In the end, Disney had no good options. With ticket sales tanking, social media flaming, and AMC pulling out, there was nowhere else to go.
It basically, this movie was like you took the original Snow White and just put everything through this filter of liberalism. It wasn't through a filter of Japanese anime, it was through a filter of liberalism.
The movie might quietly drop on Disney Plus just to fulfill obligations, but its legacy is already sealed. Rogan said it best. This wasn't just a flop, this was a cautionary tale for the whole industry. Even a legendary brand like Disney can fail hard if it forgets who it's actually entertaining.